Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Common with Creating with Common, and today we are doing my 2022 bullet journal setup. So this will include my yearly spreads, and you will see as we go along what this entails. So for my first page I just wrote my name to declare this is my journal. I skipped a page that sticked together just because it doesn't look nice and all of that. And then of course I begin my journals with my reflection page of what happened the previous year. So this is quite cool because I write down my highs and my lows of 2021, and this year it will be more lows than highs. I'm kidding, but it's just a cool reflection page to see what happened, all the big stuff that happened in the previous year. So this year I also am playing with a little bit of watercolor. So I'm making tiny little flowers at the edges, and then I'm gonna do some leaves in the middle and write 2021 with a marker, and yeah. So I used the purple and blue flowers throughout the setup, throughout my yearly setup. I like to make things look cohesive in that way, so each page isn't something else. So I just incorporated the blue and purplish colors or flowers into the next few pages that I created. These watercolors are also something different for me, but I did like it because I have a very nice journal from Notebook Therapy that I ordered, and it was really quickly that it got to me. It took like 3 weeks and it was with me. It is also very thick pages. I think it's 160 grams if I'm not mistaken. So the pages are quite thick, which makes the journal quite thick, but it makes watercoloring so much easier. The pages don't wobble as easy, and they just don't soak up the water and make your edges ridgy and all of that. So this was quite nice and cool, so I could play for the first time with watercolors where my pages didn't look horrible afterwards. So my next page is my grid space. This is something I changed up from last year because it didn't work for me that everything was on one page and all of that, and it was just too many lines over each other. So I did 2 pages, one horizontal and one vertical, and I did separate lines, and I spaced them quite far away so that I can easily see what is each block telling me that I want to know, and I want to see it quickly because I want to flip back and just look and then see, okay, it's 8 blocks, or it's I can make 2 separate things look like this, or I can make 3 columns look like that. Easy. And I filled in how many blocks it was and how many out, like 8 blocks makes 3 columns. So I filled in all of that, and I can flip back, easily look at it, see, okay, 8 makes 3 columns, and that's how many I need. So yeah, that is why I created this. So for each month, I want to create little tabs to easily get by in my notebook to see like, okay, this is January, February, March, April, May, June, and then do 6 of them in a row, because usually at the mid-year I start over and bring forth my yearly spreads. But for the first 6 months, I want to see where my months easily is. So I'm creating these little tabs. You will see I created also a grid space for them to easily see, okay, I'm in my 3rd month or my 4th month, my 6th month, and these are the how many blocks I have to leave or gain to make this tab easy, and I don't have to count them out and be unsure if I'm doing it right and then it's uneven or stuff like that. So for my 2022 cover page, I created these big flowers that are purple and blue again, and with the watercolor, I just love creating this. I think I'm going to play a lot more with watercolor this year, and I hope you guys like it as much as I do. One thing about watercolor is that it does take a little while longer than just markers to get right. One thing I did was speed it up quite a lot for the video, but it does take me quite some time. I don't know if it gets any faster if you're a bit more professional or a bit more relaxed with your watercolor, or getting in, because I'm just starting with it, so it is quite a different medium to learn. So I did take my time with it to make it look as I wanted it to. It's also it has to dry before you can turn your pages and all of that, so you have to wait for one page to be finished and to then go into the next page. So it does take longer to set up your spreads and your pages, but I didn't mind. I have time in December to do it, so that's why I did love it. So maybe I'll do it with my more relaxed months, but not necessarily each month. So I did a quote page next to my 2022 page, and my quote just says, "Your life doesn't get any better by chance, but it gets better by change." So it is about changing what you can and accepting the things that you can't. That is my, I think, quote for the first 6 months of this year. So these next 2 pages, the first one is my goals page, my short-term, medium-term and my long-term goals, and then I get my promises page. This page I will write things people tell me, things that people prayed about and they will tell me they heard about me or my life. It's also something I keep as a reminder for myself to tell myself what God thinks of me and all of that. So that's also something that is more of a general spiritual page for me than put into different categories. I think I didn't use last year's the spreads well enough, so I just compiled it into more of a one-page spiritual page. So I keep my headers simplistic for these pages so that I have a lot of space to write in them. So I don't have these big headers and then this little space to write in things, because I don't know what these pages necessarily will entail, so I try to leave a lot of space, and if I don't use it, that's fine as well. I'm not very picky about those things because that's where I just adjust it for the next year. As you can also see, I did a little gel pen finishing for the flowers. I went back with my gel pen and just did a little squiggle for them. So this is my year at a glance. I only did the first 6 months, so it's my 6 months at a glance. It is also again watercolored in the colors that I used. This will also entail my personal dates that happens and my work dates, as well as birthdays. So I did 2 separate ones last year, and I just felt I didn't use it as much, so I don't want to use the paper and not use the calendar. So I did one calendar rather than do 6 months at a time, see how it goes. I do have a calendar on my wall for the whole year, so that's where I also can write things down so I'm not missing stuff. And I do use my phone for the bigger things, so I think that's also why I don't really use this page, but I love having it in my notebook, and I can also go back and write in the important stuff from my phone or from my big calendar on my wall. So that's not something that bothers me a lot, but I know a lot of people, they're like, I don't use it, so I'm leaving it out. That's also fine. It is a bullet journal. It does get to be customized for what you want and what you need. It's not something that people can tell you is right or wrong, because it's what you need, so then it's in use for you. I see also a lot of bullet journalers use the stamps to do these mini calendars. I don't have that, so I write mine out. It's very therapeutic as well, although you can make a few mistakes. I've done it before, but I still just double check them and then write them down. But yeah, I again use my white marker to just make a little few adjustments. I hope you guys loved this journey with me setting up my spreads, and I hope you guys will share yours with me, and I will also love to see what you guys did. So please like this video, subscribe, go like me on Instagram, and share with me what you did. Please tag me in it. I wouldn't mind. I would always love yours. I will share it on my So this next spread is my theme, font and color monthly blocks. I don't know what to call this spread. I've seen a few people do this where they just have these little blocks to put in their themes of their months, but I loved this idea, so I incorporated it as well. And again, please just like and subscribe, and then I will see you in January setup 2022.